Good afternoon. I am Kenyon Alston. I am the Director of Athletics here at Stillman College in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. I graduated with my undergrad in sociology from Elizabeth City State University in Elizabeth City, North Carolina. I obtained my master's from Grambling State University in Grambling, Louisiana, with a master's in sports administration. I have been involved in college athletics all my life. And so I'm in heaven doing what I do. I love to do it. Your major does not matter, right? If you want to be in athletic administration, your major does not matter. You just have to simply surround yourself with athletics. Your resume needs to be filled with athletics. To work in athletics, you have to be hungry and you have to be humble, okay? There can be no job above or beneath you. I've swept floors, I've washed uniforms, I've did room checks, I've delivered pizza, I've did a number of things to make programs successful. And now here I am. I've been in college athletics for about 12 years now. I hear that you guys are in kinesiology. That's a great start to get yourself around athletic programs. You have to be willing to volunteer. You have to be willing to work for almost no pay, which is almost still volunteer. All of those things that I have done, right? And it takes patience. You have to learn from those around you. I started out as a GA, and I was fortunate to have worked with some very experienced and knowledgeable coaches, and some helpful coaches. Coaches who are willing to allow me to blossom, allow me to kind of do my own thing, and kind of for me to give me a task, but allow me to complete it in my own manner. And so as I moved along the ranks, you kind of see me here now doing what I love at Stillman College. A great place to be, great place to work. I love working with the student athletes. I love trying to help them realize their goals on and off the field, in courts and tracks and different things. So good luck to you guys. If you need me, I'm here, just down the road here. And thanks. It was great talking to you.
What's up, everybody? This is Brian Garnett out of Durham, North Carolina. Sorry if I can't really focus on the camera right now. I'm driving in my car. So pretty much how I got into fitness, I actually went to Elizabeth City State University on a football scholarship, majored in physical education with a minor in coaching. I didn't go directly into teaching or anything really with fitness when I first left college. It took about a year and a half or so before I got my first teaching job as a PE teacher and weight training coach at Rocky River High School in Charlotte, where I also coached offensive line for the football team. After about 2 years of working and coaching in Charlotte, I decided to leave Charlotte and move to Durham to work for a gym. Teaching just wasn't something that I enjoyed doing anymore at the time, and I spent most of my time in the gym, and I really started focusing on my health and becoming more physically fit. Just started working out more. I got a personal trainer. I was like, you know what? I just want to work in the gym. So I decided to move to Durham and work for Fitness Connection. While I was working at Fitness Connection, I became a certified personal trainer. I did that, started picking up clients. Along the way, I fell back into teaching. So I left the gym, went back to teaching. So now I actually teach physical education at a charter school for grades K through 8. And not too long ago, a couple of months ago, my brother decided to start his own gym here in Durham. So of course, I'm gonna be there to help him out. So along with teaching PE, I'm actually a coach at my brother's gym called Body Games. And it just made sense for me to, continue to coach and everything with him because I was a certified personal trainer. I'm good with kids, so I'm actually helping out with the youth sports performance class that we actually have there. So pretty much everything that I do right now has something to either do with kids or has something to do with fitness. Now, if we want to take it even further back, my main reason why I got into fitness is because I was a lot bigger than what I am now. My heaviest that I've ever been was 430 pounds. Right now, no, my lowest, when I started losing weight, I actually got down to about 330. And now with me lifting weights as much as I do and working out as much as I do, I'm back up to about 345. But I carry my weight very well. You wouldn't be able to tell that I was even over 300. You would just think that I was a big guy. But yeah, fitness is something that is just a part of my life. That's just the first thing I do when I wake up in the morning at 4 o'clock. I go straight to the gym. I work out. I leave there. I go to the school. As soon as I leave the school, I'm headed right back to the gym. All right. And that's pretty much it right there, man. Yeah.
Good afternoon. I'm Dr. Tim Orr, Assistant Professor, Program Coordinator for the Sports Administration Graduate Program at Hampton University. Well, I'd like to thank Mr. Jules Ali for giving me the opportunity to speak to you about career paths in sports management. Like most people, I was just like everyone else. I had a love for sports. I played college football at East Carolina University. I was a 1988 graduate with an industrial technology degree, concentration in technical sales and services. As you can imagine, coming out of undergrad, it was difficult finding that dream job, that ideal job of what you want to do. And at that time, you're still searching and trying to figure it all out. But throughout that time, taking different odd jobs, I happened to run across a magazine article about the general manager from the Charlotte Hornets. And when I read that article, it just kind of stuck with me and realized, hey, that's something I would like to pursue, something I want to do. I have a love for sports and I have a love for business and finance. So one of the things I did, I just stepped out on a limb and I went and sent him a letter. I wrote him a letter just introducing myself, telling him I was impressed with the article and how I was interested in pursuing a career in sports management and what can I do to head in that direction. And lo and behold, one of the things that surprised me, that he actually responded. And we had a great opportunity to meet and talk, and he kind of gave me some great advice on what I needed to do to pursue my career and passion in sports management. And one of the first things he told me to do was to continue my education. So at that time, I decided to continue to pursue my master's degree from the United States Sports Academy and get a master's degree in sports management. And at that time, I served as director of marketing and public relations for the SIAC. But during that time, I kind of got that coaching bug. I had a love for football and I wanted to be a college football coach. So I pursued an opportunity and my first collegiate coaching position was at Idaho State University. Idaho State University is a Division I FCS program out of Pocatello, Idaho. And it was a great experience for me. I was opportunity out there learning. And during that time, my head coach gave me some great advice. And I kind of share this advice with those that are interested and young people interested in this field. And he said, in order for you to be successful, you have to do everything you can to make me successful. And that's true. And I stick with that philosophy today, is that you're not in this by yourself. You have to maintain helping people be successful, and that's how you get your positions moving forward. Because the one thing I can share with you about the sports industry, even though a resume is nice, but it's all about who you know and who is willing to speak on your behalf. Networking is so important. So the one thing I encourage you is that you get out there and meet people, volunteer in different activities, because you have to expand your network circle. And by doing that, it will put you in a great opportunity to be successful. But always remember to work with, get to know people, expand your network. That's how you sustain a career in sports management. So for the next 20 years after that, I pursued a career in college coaching, Division I, Division II schools, and it gave me a lot of opportunities. I visited a lot of places financially. It helped me out tremendously. And the one thing that exposed me to the academic side of the sports management industry. So while I was there for 5 years, I ended up coaching as well as teaching classes. And then the next thing that came around is that as I went off to pursue different activities and different opportunities, I had an opportunity to come back to Elizabeth City several years later. And I came back as a faculty member. And I came back to teach, and that helped me pursue and again become more comfortable in the classroom and be able to help young people reach their goals and desires in the sports management industry. From there, I went to Elizabeth City, went to Livingstone College, and during that time, I ended up becoming an athletic director. I served as interim athletic director for a year, as well as teaching class. And the one thing I figured, if I'm going to teach class, and the one thing I've learned through my years of coaching is the one thing about coaching is that even though the pay might be great, but there's no stability. You're here today and gone tomorrow. So the one thing that you got to keep in mind is that it's difficult to, it was difficult on me having to move all the time. You know, sometimes you lose a job and it's not your fault. And as I got older, was married and had a family, I decided that stability was more important than anything else. So I decided to look into the academic side of things. And with that, I ended up continuing on my education and recently received my doctorate in sports administration. With that being said, that opportunity has opened so many doors for me. And it gave me an opportunity to be a program coordinator at several different institutions. I decided to move on to Hampton University. I've been here for 3 years. And with that time, it gave me a chance to be closer to home. I'm a native of Hampton, Virginia, so I was excited about coming home and working with such a prestigious institution. But one of the pieces of advice I can give you, the one thing about this academic journey you're beginning is that it can open so many doors for you. Don't be narrow-minded. Don't shut your mind off to many opportunities. Be willing to volunteer. You can go anywhere from being a collegiate athletic director. You can go on to be working in the front office for a professional sports franchise. You can go on to, if you're into kinesiology and sports management, being an athletic trainer for a high school or for a college or for a professional team. If you, it can open up so many opportunities as far as entrepreneurship. If you're interested in owning your own business with sports related, that's opportunities provided for you. So I would just encourage, and don't forget, and the one thing I always share is a lot of people when they start talking about careers in sports management, don't forget the academic side. If you're looking for stability, there's always the opportunity to help young people in reaching their potential. So hopefully I can say something that can inspire you, encourage you, and just know that your path is not going to be like anybody else's. It's going to be unique to you. And I wish you the best. I wish you much success in your journey. Just step out there, willing to take chances. And that you never know where the road might lead you. Well, again, this is Dr. Tim Moore at Hampton University. I wish you much success in your journey, and I look forward to meeting you down the road. Take care.
Hello everyone, my name is Malone Silver and I currently serve as the football academic advisor at the University of South Carolina. Just a brief background about myself, I received my bachelor's degree in sports management from Elizabeth City State University, while being a student athlete on the football team as well. After graduation, I was blessed with the opportunity to do an internship with the Carolina Panthers, where I worked in their guest relations and game day operations department. Getting my internship with the Panthers wasn't easy. It took hard work and dedication, as well as attending various career fairs, networking events, and sending out my resume and cover letters to various people within that organization as well. After my internship with the Panthers was over, I decided that I wanted to go back to school to pursue my master's degree in sports management. From there, I went on to work at Middle Tennessee State University, where I worked in athletic marketing and game day operations. Realizing that athletic marketing wasn't for me, I decided to pursue a career in athletic academic advising. I took on the opportunity to work at Prairie View A&M University, where I was the athletic academic advisor for football, men's and women's basketball, and track and field. I also oversaw all programming within student athlete development and life skills. Now, I currently serve as the football academic advisor and also assist in life skill programming for our football student athletes to prepare them for life after college athletics. A few things that I want to share with you today that I hope can help you be successful in this field as well as in life in general. The first thing that I want to share is be dedicated. Be dedicated to your craft. Be dedicated to the things that you want out of life, your goals, your dreams as well. Stay true to your goals and the things that you want to accomplish in this life. Continue to stay motivated and sharpen your skills. Be open-minded to different things, especially relocation. Another thing that I want to share is networking. Networking in the sports industry is very important. And the last thing I want to share is know your why. What gets you up in the morning? What motivates you? What pushes you? Know your why. I want to thank you for this opportunity. I hope this information was very helpful to you today. It has been an honor and a pleasure for me to speak to you. Please feel free to reach out if you have any questions. And again, thank you.
So when I get a lot of questions from students, specifically doing their kin degree, they always ask me, Nick, if you had to do it again or if you had to change something, what do you think you would have done? And my answer to that, I was pretty happy with what I did overall, but definitely getting work experience, all right? Work experience, volunteering, internships. If I had gone into that a lot sooner, it would have helped the whole process, and I'll explain why. So going through school, everybody has a crazy schedule. You got your classes, you're trying to balance sports if you're doing that, you're trying to balance work sometimes, right? If you're paying for your own degree, relationships, friends, family, that sort of thing. So it gets a little bit hectic. It definitely gets a little bit crazy. On top of all that stuff, you're trying to get your studying in, prep for exams, right? But one thing you should definitely realize is no matter how much, schoolwork you're going to be doing, you're never going to get the knowledge that you would get being out in the field, all right? You're never going to get the knowledge that learning from a client, in front of you will give you versus you trying to learn that in a textbook, right? Anytime you can take those examples from a textbook and apply it in a clinical setting, it's gonna sit with you that much better. It's gonna be easier to recall for you, and evidently when you go write those tests, you'll be able to think of those situations in a practical situation, right? And you'll be able to perform a lot better on the tests. So when it comes to work experience, it can come in a variety of ways, whether it's through volunteering, which is usually the easiest way to start, because people are like, well, Nick, I've never done anything in sports science, exercise, worked in the gym, that sort of thing. Who's gonna hire me on? Yeah, no problem, great. Just go ahead, local gym, local physio clinic, local chiro clinic, RMTs, strength and conditioning coach at your university, right? Just let them know the position you're in. I'm just a student. I'm looking to gain more experience. Is there anything I can help you with, or is there any way I can just shadow you, watch what you do, and gain knowledge and experience in that way? Most of the time, unless otherwise stated for some reason, if it's a liability thing or if it's a confidentiality thing with some of the people they're working with, you should be able to get in and experience or shadow or even work with some of these individuals, right? So starting out, obviously, it might be a little bit boring in certain places. They might get you to just start cleaning the clinic and things like that, so you're doing something. Ice packs, heat packs if you're working in a physio clinic, putting away weights, that sort of thing if you're working in a gym. But the things that you should be trying to pick up are the times and the moments you actually get to spend with the practitioner, because those are going to be the golden nuggets that are going to stick with you. The knowledge that they are going to pass down to you is going to definitely help accelerate your growth process, right? Because if you try to do the degree on your own, yeah, it's great. But working with someone like a mentor definitely expedites that whole process. Maybe if it took you this long, it'll cut the time down that much more in terms of learning things, in terms of being able to understand clinical practice, right? They may be able to give you advice on mistakes they made along the road so you don't make the same ones. And a lot of the times, with some of these people you're working with, you're able to get a mentor for life, right? If once you finish school and you have questions, you can go back to them and ask them. If you ever go off to grad school, you can ask them about those things as well. So it's a great resource to have. It's a great way to network, and it's a great way to build up your foundation, especially at the early stages. And it's also a great way to see if this is actually what you want to be doing. So, I mean, you're in this degree for 4+ years, and what worse feeling than to finish the degree and just start working, if you can get work, right? Because most of the times, most places won't hire you if you don't have any experience, and realize that kin's not for me, or sports science not for me, or working with this clientele isn't for me, right? So instead of waiting that long, you can kind of hit that at the beginning, be like, oh, you know what, yeah, I actually do like it and I want to pursue this. Or if you worked with a physio and you didn't like it, okay, maybe I'm going to try working with a chiro. Or if I didn't like that, maybe an RMT or an exercise physiologist, or shadowing a doctor, a strength and conditioning coach, right? All these people will give you insight into their world, and they'll be able to help you out in whatever way they can, whether it be academically, whether it's advice about the career, whether it's advice about what the next stages in your career path should be in terms of education, applying for grad school, interview processes, that sort of thing. So having that sort of person, mentor in your life to help you out, is definitely a bonus, and I always highly recommend it. So and especially when you do get out of school, like I was reiterating to earlier, most clinics aren't going to hire you unless you have some sort of experience. So the more experience you can have under your belt, the more opportunities you open up for yourself, the more networking you do, the more you get out there and expose yourself and expose your name, the more knowledge you're going to gain back, the more connections you're going to have, and evidently it's going to open up a lot more doors for you when you actually do finish up school, right? That's another big thing as well. The more networks you can build up, on your way up during school, the better it's going to be for you. Who knows, how this individual may be able to help you out down the road, whether it's, inter referrals between yourself. If you became a physio and a friend you had in university that became an RMT, right? You can start working together by sending clients off to each other. Maybe business networking, right? If you're someone that became a physio, a recent grad, and you needed some marketing but you don't know how, if you had a friend from school, or if you had a mentor that knew how to market based on one of the clinics you worked at, you can ask them for some advice, right? So anytime you can expose yourself to these situations, especially getting the work experience, I believe it's going to help you a lot in the future.
Hello, my name is Aliko Dunk, head women's basketball coach at Stillman College. I have an undergraduate degree in exercise sports science and a master's in sports management. I was a two-sport athlete in high school, playing football and basketball. I was very blessed to get an athletic scholarship at the University of Tennessee, playing there for 1 year and transferring to East Carolina to finish up my playing career. I knew early on that I wanted to coach. I wanted to give back. I had many different influences. The most influential guy in my life that wanted to make me become a coach was my high school coach. I saw how he impacted people's lives on a daily basis, and I knew that's something that I wanted to stay connected to. This coaching business is a lot of fun, but it's hard to get into. My recommendation to you would be to network as much as possible. Stay connected with your old coaches, your old players. You never know who could possibly help you. And the biggest thing is to attend coaching clinics in as many seminars as possible. That's how you get in this business. I was very blessed to have an opportunity to start out as a volunteer coach. It was really rough starting out. I worked as a mentor in the school system for 2 years. Then I was very blessed to have an opportunity to get a part-time position in the second year. I just worked my way up the ranks. I eventually in the third year became a full-time assistant coach. I worked in that capacity for 3 or 4 years. Then I was afforded an opportunity to become an interim head coach on the women's side. I was blessed to have great success there, and then I was afforded an opportunity to coach the men's team at the same institution. My recommendation to you would be, again, just do as much networking as possible. Go to clinics, go to seminars, do whatever it takes to get you where you want. It's going to take a lot of hard work, but you can do it.